Today we are practicing drawing from direct observation with a still life. For us, our still life is going to be these little cactus succulent plants. Every table is going to have one. They're all a little bit different, but I'm going to demo with this one and you will all get the general idea of where we're going here. When I'm drawing from direct observation, that means my eyeballs are actually looking at what I'm drawing. This is not imagination. I'm not making it up. It's me drawing what I see, not what I know. So when I draw from direct observation, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a spot for my eyes to start in, and I will slowly trace around the shape of whatever it is that I'm drawing with my eyes. So I'm actually going to be looking more at my still life than I am at my paper. So I'm going to do a couple practices on the back before I make a final one. So I decided I'm going to start down here at the base. And as I'm drawing, I notice that the base is kind of square shaped. I notice that there's a rectangle on the top, or a square on the top, excuse me. So I'm just kind of trying to get the general shape of the base first. Notice that I am drawing really light here. Good rule of thumb is draw light until you get it right. Come in here at the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the plant portion of it. Pay attention to the height of your plant in comparison to your vase. So my vase and my plant happens to be just a little bit taller than the base. So if my plant ends up looking like this, I'm going to know that's wrong. It's too tiny. And you need to really pay attention to the size of things in comparison to each other. So once you draw your base, your plant depends on the size of your base. So I'm going to start to add my leaves. I'm just paying really close attention to what I'm drawing. It helps if you're quiet, because then you can actually focus on what you're doing. And I don't have to be entirely perfect. I'm just trying. Remember, this is just a practice. Okay. So now that I've got this general shape here, okay, that was a pretty decent start. Now I can come back in and add my details. And notice that I've got a ridge on my cup, so I can go ahead and add that in. I can start to throw little rocks in there. Notice how I'm holding my pencil. I'm not holding it up here like I'm trying to write. I'm holding it back here a little bit so I can get some sketchy lines. Okay, that's a pretty good sketch. Now I can practice this a couple of times before I flip it over and go for the big one. All right, when you're ready to draw big, we're actually going to enlarge this because we want it to fill up our paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll let you watch me, but I'm gonna speed it up and not talk because I can draw a lot better when I'm not talking. So I've finished my drawing. By looking at it, you can tell it's a lot larger than it is in real life. I want it to fill up my paper. All I've done is gone back in and kind of darkened in some of my lines. When I have it the way I want it, we're going to trace in Sharpie, which I'll show you in a minute. But I want to talk to you for a second. I do not expect yours to look like this on your first try. I've been practicing for years, and that's the only way I've gotten better. Drawing is not a talent. It is a skill, and it's a skill that can be learned. The same as riding a bike. When you first learned how to ride a bike, chances are you fell off a lot, and it was a little bit painful. Drawing is the exact same way. The more you practice, the better you get. So fill up your back page with practices. Give it a good amount of practice before you go on and trying to do the big drawing. Couple of tips. Just make sure that you're holding your pencil further down. That way you can draw really, really light. When you draw really light, it's really easy to erase when you do make a mistake. And just pay attention very carefully to what you're drawing. I actually look more at the plant than I do at my paper while I'm drawing. I'm studying it. I'm observing it. All drawing is knowing how to look at something the right way. So when I observe this, I first notice what are the sizes. This cup at the bottom is the same size as the plant at the top. They're about equal size. So then I start to notice the shapes of things. Okay, this is kind of like a square, but it goes in a little bit. Notice where the lines are going. All drawing is being a good observer. So don't get frustrated. I don't expect you to be able to draw as good as I can, but I do expect you to try. It's okay to hate it. It's okay to not like it. It's okay to get frustrated, but it is not okay to quit and stop. I want you to keep trying. And the more you practice, the better you get.